Hey guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, the Bright Side Girl, and today I'm going to be talking about my Randomathon TBR. Alright, in case you somehow missed it, Randomathon is my first readathon of the year that I'm hosting. Randomathon is one that we change themes for every time we do it. We are doing 2 Randomathons this year, and the first one's theme is all around books. So books about books, books set in bookshops and libraries, books about authors and writers. I thought that would be a good way to kick off the year and do something kind of cozy and adventurous. There are actually a lot of options for books about books, both in fantasy and sci-fi, in contemporary as well as romance and thrillers. I'll link the announcement video up in the cards for you guys that has all the details for how to join the readathon. We are starting Monday, January 27th, so just over a week away. I am so excited to begin. Also, in case you missed it, I put up a books about books recommendation video that hits a couple of these challenges, ones that I have read and really loved, as well as a books themed book haul where I'm hauling books about books and libraries and authors. Lots of really good stuff in there. Make sure you go and check both of those out. They'll be linked down below in the description. I have 5 books to share with you today. Each one of these hits one of the different reading challenges, so we're just going to dive right in. Alright, the first reading challenge is Bookshelf on the Cover. For that one, I am choosing The Lost for Words Bookshop by Stephanie Butland. I believe this is an adult contemporary standalone. We're following Loveday Cardew, who prefers books to people. If you look carefully, you might glimpse the first lines of the novels that she loves most tattooed on her skin. But there are some things Loveday will never show you. Into her refuge, the bookstore where she works, comes a poet, a lover, a friend, and 3 mysterious deliveries, each of which stirs unsettling memories. Everything is about to change for Loveday. Someone knows about her past, and she can't hide any longer. She must decide whom around her she can trust. Can she find the courage to right a heartbreaking wrong? And will she ever find the words to tell her own story? So we have a little bit of like a mystery in here. I'm not sure if there's romance as well, but we do have like a nice bookshelf behind her as she works in a bookshop. So excited to check this one out. Next we have Book in the Title, which the bookshop will also work for that one. But I'm going to be doing The Book Eaters by Sunyi Dean. I'm not entirely sure if this is adult or YA. I believe this one leans more towards the horror side, but is not like too crazy scary, but definitely has like those gothic, like kind of spookier elements. Out on the Yorkshire moors lives a secret line of people for whom books are food, and who retain all of the book's content after eating them. To them, spy novels are a peppery snack, romance novels are sweet and delicious, and eating a map can help you remember the destination. And children, when they misbehave, are forced to eat dry, musty pages from dictionaries. Devon is part of the family, an old and reclusive clan of book eaters. Her brothers grew up feasting on stories of valor and adventure, and Devon, like all the book eater women, was raised on carefully curated diet of fairy tales and cautionary stories. But real life doesn't always come with a happy ending, as Devon learns when her son is born with a rare and darker kind of hunger, not for books, but for human minds. It just sounds so incredibly unique. I think this is going to help balance out some of the more cozy contemporary books. Cover is beautiful, so I'm very excited. The next challenge is a recommended book. You can use this any way you want. You can have a friend recommend it to you, a family member, Instagram. You can take recommendations from me. You can do it from a librarian. I have had so many people recommend me this book over the years, and this is like one of the reasons I created this theme for the readathon. I recently read a different book from this author last year for Hikeathon, and it was one of my favorite books of the year. So I'm very, very excited to finally get to A Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. The amount of people that have told me to read this is so vast and long. So I'm finally doing it. It is a little bit of a longer one, but we're gonna do it. So all the sorcerers are evil. Elizabeth has known that as long as she has known anything. Raised as a foundling in one of the Ostmere's great libraries, Elizabeth has grown up among tools of sorcery and magical grimoires that whisper on the shelves and rattle beneath iron chains. If provoked, they transform into grotesque monsters of ink and leather. She hopes to become a warden charged with protecting the kingdom from their power. So we have this magical, monstrous library. So this one will also work for the next reading challenge, but I am using it for the recommended challenge. The next reading challenge is set in a library or bookstore. For that one, we are doing The Library of the Dead by T.L. Kachu. So this is the first in a trilogy. This is an adult trilogy. It's somewhat newer. I think this one started in like 2021. So when ghosts talk, she will listen. Ropa dropped out of school to become a ghost talker, and she now speaks to Edinburgh's dead, carrying messages to those they've left behind. A girl has got to earn a living, and it seems harmless enough. Until that is, the dead begin to whisper that someone's bewitching children, leaving them husks empty of joy and life. It's in Ropa's city, so she feels honor bound to investigate. But what she learns will change her world forever. So another kind of like magical library situation. I don't know why, but I'm kind of into like libraries of the dead. There's like a lot of libraries set in hell, or like ghost libraries where they can tell you stories and secrets. So this one sounds incredible. The last reading challenge is author is a character. This just means there is a character in the book that is an author or a writer. And for that one, we're choosing The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. This is one of the classic books about books. It is so well beloved. It has also been recommended to me quite a bit. All children mythologize their birth. So begins the prologue of reclusive author Vida Winter's collection of stories, which are as famous for the mystery of their missing 13th tale as they are for the delight and enchantment of the 12 that do exist. The enigmatic Winter has spent 6 decades creating various outlandish life histories for herself, all of them inventions that have brought her fame and fortune, but have kept her violent and tragic past a secret. Now, old and ailing, she at last wants to tell the truth about her extraordinary life. She summons biographer Margaret Lee, a young woman for whom the secret of her own birth, hidden by those who loved her most, remains an ever-present pain. Struck by a curious parallel between Miss Winter's story and her own, Margaret takes on the commission. Giving me a little bit of like Evelyn Hugo vibes, where we have someone that's going to sit down with this older woman who's going to tell her this story that she once put out in the world on her, kind of like her dying days. I have heard this is just so well done and beautifully written. I'm not entirely sure what to expect. I'm excited to finally get to it. Those are all of the reading challenges. I do have physical challenges as well as photo challenges like normal. I have graphics for the readathon. All the information for that stuff will be linked down below in the description. As per usual, you do not have to read 5 individual books for each reading challenge. You can combine as many as you want to reach a certain challenge, or you can skip them entirely and just read one book about books or libraries to participate in the readathon. I just provide the reading challenges and all the rest of the challenges to give you guys something extra to do, something fun. It personally motivates me, and I just really enjoy that kind of thing. But you don't have to do all of them if you don't want to. Don't forget to check out my Spotify playlist. This is a lot smaller than normal because it's kind of tricky to find songs about like books and stories and things, but I do have one. It will be linked down below in the description. A couple new things for the readathon as well. We have Book Gizmo that has a couple book sleeves and book jackets that you can get that are themed around the readathon. I will link that down below in the description. Also, I am now on Storygraph. I decided to jump into it this year to track my reading and things, so I have put Randomathon as a reading challenge on Storygraph. If you're not familiar, it's just a book app. It is a very cool way to track your reading. It separates out so many different things and makes you really cool stats and graphics, and they have reading challenges, so I put it on there. So if you're on Storygraph or you want to join, I will link that down below as well. It's going to be really fun because you can kind of see what people are reading during the readathon. You can mark them off as you go. I am very excited about it. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at The Bright Side Girl if you haven't already, as I host the majority of the readathon on Instagram. During the readathon, I will be posting everybody's photos that they're doing for photo challenges in my stories every day, doing some games and activities and sharing lots of fun stuff on there. Just make sure you're following along and checking it out. The hashtag for Randomathon is hashtag Randomathon Books. I'll be vlogging every day like normal, so I'll have one vlog per week where I'm doing book themed activities. We're going to go to some different libraries, some different bookstores. Overall, we're going to have a really good time and kick off the year. Let me know if you're participating down below in the comments. Let me know if you're reading any of the books that I am reading, and I will see you guys very soon next time on The Bright Side.